Hi all, welcome back to the channel. This is HC's Dennis, another Raid Shadow Legends video. I've got a couple of things today. We're going to get you probably the worst promo code, maybe ever. So we'll get that out of the way first, and then after that we're going to jump into the 2024 stats breakdown that Plarium just released, just 5 months into 2025, so very timely on their part. But first things first, let's get the promo code out of the way, and that way, if you want to stick around for the stats thing, be free to jump off. But if I were a cruel person to put it at the end, you just fast forward to the video and have to find it there. But why not? We'll do it here. Okay, so the and Plarium released this on their X platforms. You may have already seen this, but it's Trivia Dungeon. I cannot type apparently. Go ahead and confirm that. Looks like it's still good, so that's a plus. We'll jump over here, check out what we got. We got 300k silver, which is super exciting. 15 brews and 50 auto battles. Again, maybe like $1 worth of stuff, but that's it. It's free, and now you have it. And with that said, we're going to jump over to the browser here real quick. And we will check out the 2024 stats and review, rated 2024 interview, I guess. We're going to jump into the community general stats, because there's a couple of things I want to point out here which are kind of funny. I can't think that the raid has to be super happy about a couple of these things, but maybe I'm wrong. So we've got the most banned champions in Live Arena, which just doesn't surprise me at all, by the way. In Bronze, you probably don't have Arbiter yet, so but you can get Sun Wukong with all of the promo codes, and just if you happen to have the account at the time when they're giving away as free login, that was a possibility as well. By the time you get to silver, maybe you have Arbiter. Certainly by the time you're into gold. I've heard people talk about the fact that they expected Sun Wukong or Fabian hasn't been around long enough, but like a Fabian or an Armand's to be the most banned. And for the people who have them, I'm sure that's the case, but way more people are going to have Arbiter than are even going to have Armand's, which is a fusion. Fabian is also a fusion. So again, just the sheer population that's going to have Arbiter is going to make up for that. So this one's really interesting to me. So over the 52 weeks of 2024, there were only 18 platinum winners out of a population, the numbers in the millions. Maybe they don't play every day, but certainly people who play the game overall, this number is easily in low millions. And you have 18 people who have won platinum, which tells you really how competitive it isn't, right? Because if it were competitive, you would get a lot more. This is just an absolute, whale fest. And you got 18 people in the community that can afford to play the game, or to pay the game to get that. So I hope it's worth it to them. Obviously, I'm free to play, so none of that's ever going to be worth it to me. But you do have, the top 4 players here with the most wins. Again, you people from the Mad Clan, and basically your top whales in the community. Where that's this is the reason why they play the game. I doubt I would assume the reason they only do any other parts of the game is to improve their gear for Arena, for PvP in general. Number of active clans, 32,000. Yeah, whatever. 24 billion clan gold is kind of interesting. That's kind of a lot. And the amount of people who are one key, or actually taking down the boss and getting double rewards, 229 million times that occurred. No, so what it says here, I didn't even notice this before. 72% of all Demon Lord chests. So the vast majority of Demon Lord rewards are, in fact, doubled up. Hydra heads, don't really care. Head of Mischief is the squishiest, so this makes sense in terms of decapitation. Lydia, I saw. I think it was it Nubs? Somebody had a video today that was pointing out that the what is it? The zoom in here a little bit. But she helps the most with the challenges, whatever they're called. And obviously Ninja can do a crap ton of damage. But you notice in the lower levels it's Ninja. In the higher levels, which again, this makes sense because fewer people are going to have Lydia than have ninjas. So, siege battles. You've got got these 10 clans that have gotten 18 wins each. I don't really participate a whole lot in siege. I do have a little bit of feral, but with everything else going on, and my clans, frankly, needs some new members. I've had to boot a bunch of people for inactivity and haven't really done a great job recruiting more people. But as long as I got enough to participate where I want to, good enough for me. Siege damage, don't care. Looks like that people only want to be able to use support characters. Relics, 9 million relics. Again, in a vacuum, I don't know what that number means a whole heck of a lot. But only out of all the entire player universe, only less than 3,000 total mythical relics have been crafted. So, again, maybe player wants it that exclusive. I would think that they probably wouldn't, because the more open you make this to people, the more they're probably willing to, if it's reasonable, spend money in your game, and you make more money that way. But right now, it's a very, very tiny portion. This is interesting to me too. Only 47 people out of the entire raid universe have completed Hardcore City, Hearts and Tronos, every single month, or at least every month in 2024. 47 people. That's wildly low, and I know that, again, that can't be anything that they like. It's got to be your content's got to be more accessible than that. Okay, and obviously we've got. This makes sense. I don't have Mikage yet, but I'm well on my way. I'll eventually get her, so it's no surprise there that that's going to be the highest number of fusions. I'm sorry, that's not the highest number of fusions. I read that wrong. 102,000 people have fused Mikage. So actually, that's relatively low too, if you consider that there's at least a few million people who play Raid at least periodically. And High Mother Mod, there's only 14,500 people who have turned in enough fragments, or accumulated enough fragments to fuse her. And then no surprise with Thor. He was, amazing damage dealer. And there was like the events and stuff going on around it as well. And a lot of hype. So, very good champ. I really enjoy playing Thor. And now I'm going to flip over to my personal stuff, which I haven't even looked at, to be honest with you. So, let's see. See what we got here. Yeah, this is about right. I do play. Oh goodness, excuse me. I do play Arena, but around 4,000. There was a collab between Boozer and J-Gigs within the last couple of weeks, where Boozer was saying, 200 Classic Arena wins a week is what he considers to be active, and I'm like, that's wild to me, because if I divide this by 52, you can see that's not what's that, 65 maybe, something like that. Doing really quick math. And so 135 below where he wants it. Again, 65 might not be exactly right, but it's certainly well less than 100. And then Tag Arena, I generally can't be bothered. I do the daily, or try to. Here recently, I've been trying to push the Ramontu missions a little more than I ever had. I kind of let it sit on rosin for a long time because I was using rosin to fuse the epics for different things. I'm in a different place now, right? I can generally get away with doing a fusion without needing to do that. So I went ahead and fused rosin, and I'm trying to pay a little more attention to Tag Arena, but I'm not gonna. If you watch JGX, he's been talking a lot about this too. It's like, again, not very accessible. Right? And I have a free-to-play account, but my free-to-play account has a ton of resources on it, and decent champs, and enough champs to make good teams, and it doesn't matter. The teams I make, they're good enough, but they're not gonna push me up into gold anytime soon. That's for sure. Clan Boss, again, damage in a vacuum. Don't really care about that number, but I do. That's funny. I do Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare every day. I have the Wixwell team set up. I do plenty of damage to one cube easily. Hydra. Sometimes I forget to play Hydra. Chimera, I try to get in because I want to get the mythical associated with that. Carnage, I think it is. No, Carnage is with Centranos. Anyway, whatever the mythical is that's related to Chimera, I do try to remember to do that. Again, my clan doesn't participate very well, so I'm for my own doing, but because I want to be run my own clan, I'm kind of stuck at the second and third tier, whatever that is, hard and normal. I think I definitely could put teams together to challenge higher, but I can't drop hard by myself. So okay, and let's see, artifacts. I don't know what these numbers mean because I've obtained 16,000, but I've sold 18,000. Is that 35,000 between two? I don't know. Maybe. I'm not sure what that number means. Dragon Slayer, Ice Skull on Fire. These numbers, I don't know. They seem low to me. This number, the Phantom Shogun number, is not right at all. I've definitely played Phantom Shogun, so I don't know sort of what they're tracking there. I feel like I've done more Sand Devil than 238 as well, so who knows. And then Legendary Champion summoned. I don't summon a lot, so kind of pile up the shards and kind of wait for things to happen. I've got tons of legendaries and things that I haven't even built. I kind of focus on just the priorities to me, and like recently that would be Fabian and Thor and things like that. And if I get I think it was actually I've been playing this game since 2020, and I think it was in 2024 that I finally got a Geo on my main account. And so if I get an epic or a legendary that I'm interested in, I definitely have the resources to max them out in relatively short order. So that's kind of the game I play. 21 does feel low, I'll be honest with you, but maybe. And then total gems collected from the mine. Well, I mean, I try to collect that every day. So apparently, if you ignore your gem mine, you're missing out on 5,400 gems. So definitely collect those because that's a lot of gems. That's a lot of energy. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Pop back over to the game real quick, and I talked about accumulating. You can see, I'm actually low relative. I've been using a lot of energy recently, so this 9500 is actually somewhat low. 136 million silver, or yeah, 136 million silver, and over 40k gems. And again, this is just me focusing on things that are important to me in terms of maxing out champs. I can show that I've got a fair amount of 60s. I've got food to create another one right now, just sitting there waiting. I just don't know. I don't have somebody that I absolutely need to have 60, so I'll just hold on to it, continue to build more food, and go from there. But yeah, that's pretty much the promo code and 2024 in review. And if you enjoy the content, please like and comment on the videos and subscribe to the channel. We sure would appreciate having you. And check out HG's content on Clash Royale. And let us know what you think there as well. And with that, I hope everyone has a great night, and I will talk to you soon.